What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a no-sew tablecloth. I was on the hunt for a small square tablecloth. I couldn't find one anywhere. So I ended up having to buy some fabric at Walmart and created my own. So it's no sew, you don't have to worry about those edges. I know that a lot of you do know how to sew, but maybe don't want to have to sew all the time, and a lot of you don't know how to sew. So this covers all of us. Before we get to the project, I would love it if you give me the thumbs up if you like my videos, and join the Glue Dot family by hitting that subscribe button down below, as well as the bell next to it, and that will inform you when I upload any new videos. Also, leave me a comment because I love hearing from you. I'm excited to show you this project, but also I do need to quickly tell you that we do have a fabulous Facebook group called Midnight Crafter Glue Dots that I would love for you to join, where we do recreations of some of the projects you learn here on my channel. And also, don't forget down below to enter to win the monthly drawing for a really cute bling owl keychain. I do it the first of every month, and I do a little live chat with you also as well. So, I think right now what we need to do is get to this project. So let's do it. Here's my piece of fabric that I have that I bought from Walmart, and I'm going to be making this into a tablecloth. So I'm going to show you how to get a nice straight edge on your ends, and then you have the ends that are factory ends, and I'm also going to show you how to do little fringes on those ends so that it's an entire no-sew project and you'll have a cute little tablecloth. I'm going to do the best I can here to show you this as well as I can and make it as clear as possible. So many times we purchase fabric. I have this big piece of fabric here, but I don't know if my line is straight here. So those of you who are seamstresses already know this trick, but those of you who are not, you're probably wondering, how do you get a straight line when you're not really sure how it's been cut? So here's the trick. You're gonna find the lowest point of the fabric when it was cut. So I'm just going to kind of go for the center here, and what you're going to do is pull some of you see how we have these threads here? So we're going to pull one of those threads. So when I pull from this end over here, it looks like some of these are further down than the other end of the fabric. So I'm going to go with this one. It looks like it may be the furthest one down the line. So what you're going to do is you find your lowest thread. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be at the end. Again, your fabric could be cut straight and then it could dip in and come up. So your low point may be in the center. It happens to be, I think that mine is here on the end. So you're going to find the lowest thread and you're going to start to pull that thread. So you start to pull it and you'll see that it will start to gather your fabric. I've just got my one thread here, starting to gather my fabric, and you're going to move the fabric along. Sometimes your thread will break, but do the best you can to not pull too hard and just keep moving your fabric down. You're going to keep working your way. Now, the longer your length of fabric this way, the harder it's going to be to pull this without breaking it, but you're going to do the best you can. So we're still just going to keep pulling, and working our way across our fabric. You should be able to get this to go all the way across to the other side of your fabric. And work your way a little bit at a time till you get it all the way to the end, because eventually that's where you're going to need to be able to cut to. So you're just going to keep working. Now, the heavier your fabric, the thicker the thread. This is a pretty heavyweight fabric that I'm going to be using as a tablecloth, and I got it at Walmart. So because it's such heavy-duty fabric, the thread is holding up pretty well and not breaking very easily. Now, you're going to get to a point where you've gotten all the way through, and you may get to this point, you may not, but I've gotten to the point where I can actually pull this piece of string out now completely, and it's just coming right out of my fabric. So this was the string that I was pulling, and now I've been able to pull it completely out. Here's how the fabric looks once I remove that little piece, and it does leave you a nice little line. Some fabrics show it more obviously than others. You can see as I go along, it starts out about 1.5 inches away from the edge, and because I pulled that thread, which is going to be straight across, as I go along, it gets closer and closer and closer to the edge and then just disappears. So I know that end over there is already straight because of the thread I chose to pull. And then once I cut this on my line, I will have a nice straight edge to work with. I'm going to also show you how to make a frayed edge. Now this is the frayed edge that came on the end of the fabric, but I'm going to make a frayed edge on this side as well because I'm going to be using this as a tablecloth. So if you're not a person who sews and you want to have a nice edge on there, this is another option for you to be able to finish the edge of your fabric. On this raw end, what you do in order to get that fringe is you just start pulling off some of the threads. You just go in there the same way we did to find our straight edge. You're going to go in there and just find threads. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you're going to take those threads and you're going to pull them all the way off till the end. You have the fringed edge here. That is really hard to say. And you just pull some of those threads and start removing them. And you can do a few at a time as long as you keep your fabric pretty flat while you're pulling. It starts slowly to make a bit of a fringe. Now you can make your fringe as large or small as you want depending on how many rows of threads you pull out. So this is how it works for the raw edge. I'm going to go ahead and do that and then I'll show you how it turns out. If you're having a hard time because this is the edge that's smooth here to actually, you don't have that frayed edge already to pull your threads, grab a pin or something and you can just poke the pin in there and pull the threads away because sometimes it's a little hard. Here's my finished fringe on my raw edge. I really like the way that's looking. And now I'm going to show you, obviously both raw ends would be the same, but I'm going to show you how to do this because these finished edges that come from the factory, they're really hard to fray, just like we did before because of somehow with the way they do the ends. So we're going to go ahead and cut along that line there, and then we're going to go ahead and fray that edge as well. Once you cut off this white part of theirs, you'll get into exactly a raw edge just like this, so you can do the same thing. I'm now going to cut off the factory frayed edge so that I can create a raw edge to do like I've done on all the other sides. So far I have 3 of my 4 edges are frayed, and I do have that one edge that I have left raw, and the reason I have left that as it is because I need my tablecloth to be a square. So you may be doing a rectangle, in which case you're just going to go ahead and fray that other end there and call it good. I need mine to be a square, so what I'm going to be doing in order to make this square is folding just like we did as kids and when we do origami. I'm going to be folding this corner up to that side and forming a square. So I've matched up my edges, and what I'm going to do now is cut the excess off over on that end and go ahead and fray that end, and I'll be all done. And this way we have a nice no-sew tablecloth that is pretty easy to do. Makes a little bit of a mess, but not too bad. And it's actually something you can do while you're sitting watching TV. So, alrighty, I'm going to finish this up and I'm going to show you what all done. If you like this tip, if you're enjoying this type of video, leave me a thumbs up and join the Glued Out family. We love having you. We have lots of fun here. And also leave me a comment. I love hearing from you as well. So, I'll show you what we got. you're still watching, just want to tell you why I needed to find a tablecloth. So some of you may know I have a side business where I sell gifts and jewelry, and one of the things I sell are these really amazing candles that double as a lotion. You can rub them on your skin, they're phenomenal. But anyway, that's a whole other story. I have this tablecloth that I put hanging over the edge, kind of with the point down and all that. And every so many times that I'm doing an event, the wind blows and blows the corner up and catches on fire. So I have 2 tablecloths that I've been using for years, and each one of them has 3 burnt corners. And one of them I was using this weekend and flew up and burned the 4th corner on it. So I needed to find a new tablecloth, and I couldn't find anything to put there. So hence the reason I had to make my own. I'm crazy busy in festival season right now, but I really wanted to get a video out to you. And while I was making this, I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to give you a few little pointers on how to cut a straight edge on fabric and how to make a fringed edge on the tablecloth. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I am so grateful to you all for watching and for staying through to the end. You guys are awesome. Have a positive and uplifting day.